In the beginning, and believe me, there was a beginning, everything was in its proper place. Time was linear, just as it should be. But a little thing called element 115 changed all that. Especially when, what was it again? Yes, when group 935 came along. Once they started messing around with it, they buggered everything up. 115 shouldn't even exist in your dimension. But nonetheless, here we are.
My pain is fleeting. My suffering is not. Though I'm truly foolish to believe you could accomplish something. Want to play a game? First to die loses.
Leave me alone was not clear. The time for warning is over. My henceforth.
Not a good time, Freaksbag. Trying to rile me up. Should have made sure you finished the job. Everything has led to this moment. Destiny is not on your side.
Alright, you shadow fuck. Let's end this once and for all.
Wait! What are you doing? You are my mortal!
You can do it, Sophia. Destroy him. End it.
Call of Duty Zombies, the game mode and the series that not only do I adore, but it always surprises me as to how it surprises and amazes me as to how it's always constantly changing in different ways. I still won't ever forget the days that I started back in BO1. I obviously went back to World of War to experience that, but I got into zombies at the start of maybe not when BO1 came out, but at a time where BO1 was still around. I was 10 years old, and I was playing at this kid's house. I think his name was, I still vividly remember his name. His name was Nicholas, and the first ever map was Kino. I was obviously terrified of the zombies, the Nova Crawlers, just OG good times. I will never forget those moments. But I'm still here, loving this mode, supporting it as always. I always wanna see it improve, and like I said, it always amazes me that this mode is always changing in different but drastic ways. But this time I think with BO6 it's going to be within the right ways. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today this video is specifically on about the difficulty of zombies overall, and within high rounds difficulty in general as well, and as how much it's changed throughout the years. And I think with BO6 is where we're finally gonna not revert back to the old ways. I'd say we're not even going back to the old ways. But I've actually heard that this game, high rounds within this game are actually going to be somewhat difficult, which is true apparently. So GG's, claps in the chat for that. But I'm still making this video regardless, because Treyarch just needs to see. They need to see the what you call it. They need to keep listening to the community. Like me just hearing stuff like that, and the blog posts about BO6 and whatnot. It means that they're actually starting to listen to the community. And this video that I'm making is to push that even further, to make sure that they're actually doing the right thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the difficulty Zombies Retrospective. Let's get it. All right. We are actually going to start with World at War first. Charles, you're up. So talk about the interesting things of World at War that I may not know. I want to hear it.
So one thing that you may not know, of course, is the fact that the Steam time is half the reset time on World at War. So if you download the game on Steam, the reset times are going to be half the time of the game as on if it was on like Pluto, for example, or if it was on Xbox 360 or PS3, I believe. Well, I don't know if PS3 has a shorter reset time or anything like that. No
I think PS3 was similar to Xbox, except Xbox was always more stable.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. Another thing about Steam is just about World at War Zombies is also the fact of the 24 limit, but the Doris doesn't have the 24 limit, so that's why, of course, the round is so much lower than all the others. Let's think here. There's a few other things that I know of. If anybody wants to chime in, they can, of course, too, if there's anything they know.
I mean, practically the only thing I know about. I mean, there's just a couple things that I know about World at War, like the classic 24 limit. How there's a couple, if not a lot of bugs in the game that sometimes either help you or just, that's the one part that I just don't like that much about World at War is like the bugs within the game can either mess you the fuck up or they help you. And it's it's so random. It's so fucking random every time.
What were you saying?
Wasn't the Juggernaut bug in Doris?
Yeah, no, I also know about that too. Yeah, no, the one with the waft, yeah.
Doris has...
Because that didn't exist. That didn't actually exist when the game first launched, I don't think. Did it?
I can't remember.
I don't think it existed when the game first launched. I think it
well, I know it wasn't a thing in Shinonuma, and that's it wasn't a thing in the map before. But
right, it was because of it had something to do with when they ported the maps over to BO3, or it had something to do with either that or when they were scaling the. I think there was some. Oh, there was an update. I think there was an update they did with the health. It was some sort of update I believe they did with the health, and it ended up ended up creating that bug, and they just never fixed it.
Yeah, something along
I can't really remember. Yeah, it was something along those
lines. I think you're about right on that statement. I hope.
I remember I saw it in a video recently where they kind of like went in depth about it, but I can't remember like exactly why it was. But it had something to do with when they were like rewriting the scripts for the health between the ports for the maps or the health patch or the health buff or whatever it was on World at War originally. I think when the other maps released. But it's funny because that it'll show up. It's kind of interesting how they use different scripts and different custom maps, because that bug will show up in some maps and not in others in custom maps. Right? Isn't that right? Isn't it in Casino?
Yeah, the custom map for
But I don't think it exists in Winter.
No, because on certain customs you're able to actually take it off the map completely. Like most people who make customs, you can actually just take it completely off the map. You can update that and take it off, so it doesn't take away your jug, which is great.
Yeah, which is
Charles.
Interesting how easy it would have been for them to fix.
Charles, something that I actually kind of know and I do find interesting, and I wish you could elaborate a little bit more on.
I'll see if I can do that.
What's it called? So, there's obviously been quite a few, if not a lot, of custom maps that I played for World at War. There were some specific ones that I played where let's say for example, just like a little bit of an experimentation, you no clip out in a specific area, and it either cancels the spawn zones, or I don't know, it sort of changes the direction.
So that is just a pathing issue, I believe. Usually, like if you get outside of the map, the zombies don't know where to go. Sometimes they will end up like if you end up, as an example, I believe on the map, like on the older version of Winter Wonderland, you could actually hop outside of one of the windows on the map and like in the spawn room, and you can also hop out of it in the double tap area where the power is. You can hop out of both of those windows, and if you hopped out of them and like stood near the spawn, but not like, you know, directly on top of it, so they would obviously hit you, but like they will turn around and hit you once before they start walking and getting dragged to the door, pretty much the window.
Yeah, probably
So,
because there's no pathing
Exactly.
script
They're,
in that area, but they can still trigger the.
Yeah, the pathing script that they have, I think, would be just to open the door, so like, you know, open the window or get through the window, so they just don't know what to do besides moonwalk and hit me while moving, and then go through the window. Another thing about World at War is, like, especially customs, I find this issue, is if you end up getting, like, if you have a zombie in a barrier and you get hit by the zombie or whatever, and you repair the barrier at the right timing, the zombie will just constantly double swing, like,
Yeah.
and it just gets stuck in place. That's killed a few runs of mine, honestly. Not gonna lie. But yeah,
Why?
no,
Because
that's,
the zombie,
another little
because the
thing that can
zombie
happen.
completely bugs out, or
I assume it's just because the zombie gets stuck in the window itself, like literally in the the structure itself, so it doesn't have anything. Like, it thinks you're still in front of it, so it's kind of stuck in that animation, I'd assume, which would make the most sense to me. Because like, why would, you know? I assume they probably just never coded it to, like, you know, stop the animation when, like, you know, they probably assume, oh, if the zombie's inside the room and if it's stopped, then it must be near the player. So it probably just swings.
Yeah, about the zone thing, I think another example, right? So 2 examples actually. There were these 2 maps that I played. One was like a one window sort of challenge map, but with a big hallway. I'm pretty sure you've played that one. The one where it's like a long hallway, and towards back behind you there's the teleporter, and you take it to pack a punch.
I haven't played it personally, but I have watched videos about it. Yes, I have.
Yeah,
watched
and
exactly
you're able to get a whole bunch of perks and stuff.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I watched videos
Right,
on it.
so
I didn't play it, but I have watched it.
I did this as sort of like some sort of experimentation, right? So basically, I just no clipped out of the map, and I stood in a specific area outside where it just automatically skips the rounds.
There's a few maps that have that issue. As an example that I could literally pull up immediately if you needed to see it was Alcatraz. There's a corner that you can stand in Alcatraz where you can just stand there and it'll end round constantly.
Maniac told me about that originally.
Yep. It's used in the speedrun for the map by Maniac himself.
Damn. That's nice.
Yeah.
I guess, okay, so the other example I wanted to state is there's this other map where I think it has like one of those German names to it. I think it's called Fang something, Fang Tang, something around those lines. It's like a German, simple German facility.
Okay.
That's Herrenhaus?
No, that's a man.
No. I mean, I can explain the map layout a little bit. So there's this one specific area where I stayed for high rounds in one of the runs I did. I think Speed Cola is around there. Like it's up a stairs area, and then there's two barriers, one on one side and one on the other. If I left the door closed behind me, then the zombies would have only came from the barrier that's right next to me to my left, and then the stairs. But if I had that door open and I went back and then kept the other door closed that led to the outside area, it would make the spawn zones only in the two barriers that were there in that specific area.
That is an example of spawn manipulation.
Yeah.
So basically, the same thing is happening in the Leviathan gameplay, where they only spawn in the hallway outside of the room that I'm in, and the window beside me where I'm sitting in the kitchen area where the juggernaut is.
Yeah. That's definitely spawn manipulation, but the like is the one where you just no clip and it constantly skips rounds. That's called the round glitch.
That's just a glitch.
Okay.
Of course. That's just a glitch.
Is there anything else that I need to know about?
You can also like consider for another example maybe there's a couple like if you play the game too fast you're bound to crash like a lot easier. There's a short amount of time where people were playing Shinonuma on World at War in the swamp area. I can't remember the exact name, but it has like the it's like where the drop down strat is played.
I think Krups crashed there.
Yeah,
a bit of times.
Yeah, Krups crashed there. Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So basically, if you play that area too fast, it produces too many child variables, basically, and it'll crash the game. I believe after I want to say 50,000, something like that, child variables, like around that number, the game crashes. Which, speaking of those, using that code, I might be able to just say it right here on this. So if you go on to Plutonium and type in CG_draw capital S for script and then capital U for usage and then type 1, that'll turn on all of the information for the what's it called? The child variables, all of the server, information, all that kind of stuff. So that's how you can test out and see what causes crashes for the game. That's something probably not many people will know about because it took me, I think, 2 years to learn that.
Yeah. I guess another simple thing that I know about World of War, right, is, and it's probably it's kind of a side really with the random RNG of either the bugs screwing you over or helping you out. You can be super glued to the zombies, and that's almost practically in every map. I feel like.
And that is and that is a thing that can actually be turned off. I forget what it is, but when Treyarch was coding World at War, they were like, we don't want the zombies to be able to push the players, so that's why they get stuck on you, because if they didn't have a certain thing inside of the code on, it would just push the player instead, and they just walk through doorways, but instead they wanted it to be like, the zombies get blocked by the player. So there's like literally one line of code that if you change that literally just takes it away. And that's what a few custom maps have. Like Evil has that. Clinic of Evil has that off, so you don't get stuck or anything. You don't have any zombies on you really stuck up your ass.
Can you explain what the child variable actually means?
To be honest, I have no idea. All I know is that it crashes the game.
I don't think anyone actually knows what it means.
Like
honestly.
I have no idea, because when I first learned about the child variable stuff from like the Krups videos and all that stuff, like when he was talking about it, I was always wondering like what the hell is child variable? Is that the number of zombies on the map? Is that the like?
Well, same with Wonderful's more recent videos. Like when they looked into like Buried more recently and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they started using that tracker, that BO2 tracker.
Yeah.
He even said that they noticed it like going up really fast in certain areas while they were doing certain things, but they couldn't figure out what specifically was triggering it, nor could they figure out what specifically the child variable was. Like, well, what exactly it's referring to. I don't think anyone really knows what it is. Because
exactly. It literally, it's a number that honestly it jumps up and down. You can lower it and you can raise it in the game. Like it's literally, it's just something like in the server.
Yeah, and they noticed like in certain instances when he would I think it was after Blasters got his 255 on Buried, when the game like kept going, I think he loaded into another game immediately after, and his child variable was already jumped up to typically it's at X amount when you spawn in, like just from a regular game. After he had finished that 255 and he spawned in, it was already up to like X amount. Like it was not like extremely high, but it was like noticeably, like very noticeably higher than it usually is when you start a game.
So just from a quick Google search, just out of my own curiosity, literally just things on the map, like dead body parts, zombies itself, things that are loaded into the map.
Oh, you know what else is
that can kind of probably explain why the number of child variables crashes the game so fast, because you're killing zombies so fast in that strategy that they barely have time for them to despawn their parts.
Another thing that had happened, one of the other previous records on Buried, the guy, his character glitched out to where he couldn't turn left or right.
That is from.
You can probably explain that better than me.
Yeah, that is from basically a code. So the 32-bit integer limit of 2 billion, 147 million, etc. I don't know exactly the full number, but you have, as soon as you spawn into the game and you're facing the way you spawn, there's a number inside the game that counts. If you turn to your right, it'll add to a variable, and if you turn to your left, it'll decrease that variable. So once you get up to that integer limit, you can't turn anymore.
Yeah, it literally maxes out and kind of freezes
it. It freezes your movement, and there are ways of fixing it. Basically, just spin the other way.
Yeah.
Basically just turn the other way instead is the only way to fix it, as far as I know.
Yeah, so Fella was at a world record run in I don't even know.
I think it was on Origins, wasn't it?
No. There was
an Origins gameplay that didn't have it. That's why
maybe there was. The time in particular I'm referring to was a few years back on Buried, and it happened to him because he was running. He was doing the trample steam strat in the bar.
Exactly. Same thing happened on Nuketown too.
Yeah, to basically where you're just running circles in the same direction over and over. You just spin too much going in the same direction. So they had to kind of work that strategy around that variable to where they weren't only turning to the right, but they were also making figure eights opposed to circles.
Yeah,
which these little things like this, I know we're kind of getting off subject with talking about
we're supposed to be talking about
the war.
Every game
correct. It still protects the world at war.
Every game has it. Every game has it. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
that's so interesting. I find that so interesting, actually.
It is. It's so interesting, and there's all these little things.
Wait.
There's a lot of little small things
that
about every game.
that I've been learning in like the last year that I've been spending more time like in the game and like learning about the game and stuff like that. That like it's just like blowing my mind. Like the insta kill round, for instance. Does that also? I don't think that exists on World at War though.
It does indeed, yes.
It does.
No, it does.
The thing
No,
is,
it
actually,
doesn't.
That's something I should mention too. I thought about that now. Just thanks for mentioning that. So basically, on maps that have dog rounds, they have higher insta-kill rounds. I think it starts at like 203 on Shino, depending on how many dog rounds you have, because it's it skips around, so the zombies don't gain health that round.
Oh yeah, good point.
So maps that have dogs don't have insta. So for example, I'm pretty sure Doris doesn't even have an insta-kill round hit yet on World at War.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it has to get up to like 200 something.
I mean, I saw gameplay of someone on. It was by what's his name, Sir Modslot. Like his name is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw a bit of his stream, like either when he was live or like when he wasn't. Like he was on round 600 on Reese, World at War Reese.
Yeah, that's not possible. That's not possible.
No, not with the reset time.
No.
Was he? Could he have been modding?
Sorry.
Yeah, he must have been
Oh
modding.
yeah, absolutely. No, that's
because literally what I saw him do was the whole time he was there with either just the I believe the WAF and just the Browning.
He was probably, he could. There's a few things he could have been doing. So he could have been either strat testing. So he could have been using a strat tester, set it to a really high round. Just modded it to a really high round quick, so he could test out exactly, the seconds per horde of, for example, like a trap strat or or test an insta kill round. Another thing he could have been doing is also just testing the game's limits. I remember a long time ago there used to be a Twitch channel that would stream like 24/7 that was called Call of Duty World at War, and it would just be on Shinonuma with a infinite health like god mode on and just spraying the fucking ground with the Wonder Waff. Constantly.
What the fuck? And that would kill the zombies. Like he was.
Wait, this was a channel?
There was a Twitch channel called Call of Duty World at War, and it used to literally just stream Call of Duty World at War on Shinonuma, and it was just a modded gameplay of just spraying at the ground in the swamp area with the Wonder Waff. And it was
There's
during
no
the time when
fucking way that shit was real.
During
bro.
the time.
No
Yeah,
way.
it was during the time when everybody was testing the child variables and shit.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, the world record for Doris is 194 by Tails Can Fly.
By Tails, and that was just
good,
recently.
Good
just
friend.
recently.
8 months ago, yeah, pretty recent.
Yeah.
That's this year, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good. And prior to
Awesome
that,
guy.
the Krups had stood for a few years, I believe.
Yeah.
Here, I can always check the difference. I'm on ZWR right now, so.
Yeah, so am I.
So,
Krups was 2 years ago.
Yeah, Krups's was in November of 2022, and then, yeah, Tails was in February of 2024.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing to mention that some people may not notice, this isn't it is World at War specific for ZWR, but there is another leaderboard for fixed box items, for example, like fixed WAF. High round is 79, so you get the WAF every time for your first box roll.
On ZWR, there's a
Really? So if you go to literally in the World at War tab itself, go to World at War and then go to Doris, and then you'll see right at the top you'll see original, and then you click the little little arrow and it says fixed WAF, Wonder WAF.
Okay, hold on. So I go to World at War.
World at War.
Okay.
And then go to High Rounds.
High rounds.
And then click Doris. And you see at the top, High Round Doris.
I see that, yeah.
You click that.
Wonder Waff, yeah.
Yep. So there's that.
Why is it only 79?
Because nobody runs it. Like, look, Tails had 69 for almost like a year.
Yeah.
That is
Like,
that
if
is
Tails wanted-
that is so.
if Tails
That sounds
wanted-
like it's very beatable. I don't know why.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
With
it's very
no, it is. It's insanely beatable. With the world record, as I said, being 194, I'm surprised Tails didn't get 100 just for fun.
No, I mean the 79 that you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm
Yeah, I
surprised
never
Tails
noticed
didn't
that
get 100 on it
that-
just for fun.
Yeah.
Because he has a 69, which is the previous record, above, like, underneath 79.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little information.
Alright.
I think if there's any other little tiny bits and pieces.
Like any more
Yeah, there's
more
so
deeper.
many little things.
any more
Why
deeper
is
details?
okay? I got a question.
Yeah.
Why on Flawless Derice isn't there solo? Underworld at War Flawless on Derice, there's no solo category. Only 2-player, 3-player, and 4-player.
There's no category on World at War for any one player because every game is flawless because there's no quicker path.
Oh, duh. Yeah. Duh. That's a stupid question. I think I've even like asked that once before, but yeah. I forgot
That's
about
fair.
that.
That's fair.
Nah, you're good. Yeah, no. You actually had me stumped there for a second. I was like, wait, what is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what.
Like, another thing, I don't know if this is I know it might happen in Black Ops 1, but I know if you run into random objects in World at War, like a jug machine, and it makes a little clink sound, it adds entities to your game.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Making you
No,
reset faster.
actually,
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
bro. No, you what you just reminded me. Actually, you need to. I feel like you should talk about entities. Because Tempe's kind of forgot to mention it, and if he did, he didn't mention it a lot. But yeah, entities are
that's what
within
entities
World of
are
War
what
3
caused
games.
that.
Yeah,
Like
entities
they're
with the child variable too, right?
Entities have every. Entities are in every game because that's basically what caused like as I said. So basically,
Aren't entities basically the same as child variables? Like they
yeah, they're basically the
coincide with
same
each
thing
other,
as
yeah.
child variables. They're very, very similar.
Child variables is
basically,
basically
like, yeah, it's basically like an increased measurement of like child variable is basically an increased measurement of the amount of like entities are on the map. So basically, like I remember I have a server side thing on that I can turn on Plutonium as well that displays the amount of entities that are in the server, and I'm pretty sure the max for every single server, like every single map on World at War, is 1,088 entities on the map at once. So, and entities also have a lot of things to do with like your reset time, like everything like that. Like as I just mentioned, like if you bump into a Juggernaut machine on Verruckt or something like that, your reset time will drop by like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. So it's like you gotta watch out for a lot of simple things on the maps that you usually wouldn't think cause any sort of issues to your game, but actually do detriment you in a fairly big way. Another thing that has to do with entities is the spawn rate, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
There's something that has to do with entities and spawn rate that I can't quite put my... basically, of course, if something spawns, if you're in an area that has too many spawns too fast, basically you just have a higher chance of crashing the game.
True.
Because
No, I actually,
so much.
I've actually gotten, what do you call those? You call those G spawn errors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've gotten those on.
G-spawn errors can also be caused by a few things, like as I said, child variables can also cause G-spawn error.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that can cause a G-spawn error.
Right.
But yeah, no, that is indeed one of the variables to it.
I've actually gotten a few of them on some, if not like a few World of War custom maps, as well as some few custom maps on BO3 actually. Like it's kind of prominent.
Yeah, no, G-Spawn, yeah, no, it is very common in custom maps, and the main reason why is just because, like, if the person who made the map isn't, like, even on World of War, you can have the best freaking map in the world. World at War is just so buggy, it's not gonna, like, you know, live for the whole reset time 99.9% of the time. Black Ops 1 customs, to get off, like, slightly off topic, they have, like, Black Ops 1's engine for customs is actually a lot stronger for customs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which is why I don't understand why there isn't more custom maps for BO1 once again.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. If there was it's a perfect sweet spot of the game has a lot of like power to it, but like you can still enjoy the old feeling nostalgia of BO1. But basically,
it's probably one of my favorite. You know, I might even like it more than BO3 to be honest. It's just such a great engine to work with.
Exactly, and like only maps that have like a reset that actually have like a reset done on customs are all Black Ops 1 maps, because they are actually strong enough to last till reset. Every other map that has a higher round on it, either you die in it or you just error.
Yeah.
Usually. Like 99.9% of the time, and that's just because that the game is not stable enough really for customs usually. Like, and you can also do things to like reduce the error, of course. Like I've been wanting to do, like, you know, run back my Leviathan game and test what caused the error that I got, but I've been trying to get 100 on, like, you know, most maps that don't have 100 on them yet for customs, and that's been interesting.
Is that everything that you can think of for World War?
That's pretty much the long and short. Yeah, no, I don't think there's much else I can think of.
Really quick, I do have the reasoning behind the Reese thing with the Wunderwaffe.
All right.
It basically says that unlike the popular belief, Wunderwaffe does not take away the Juggernaut perk. What really happens?
No, it doesn't just like make it so your health doesn't regen or something like that?
Exactly. What really happens in reality is that if you hit yourself with Juggernaut or not, you will permanently lose the ability to recover or regenerate health. Yeah. So without Juggernaut, if you hit yourself, any zombie that hits you instantly will kill you.
Yep.
If you hit yourself twice with it, even if with a large delay between taking any damage, you still kill yourself using this weapon. It's really funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's not even that old, really. The Juggernaut only has 2 more hit points of zombies.
If the zombies bitch you in World at War, that'd be scarier. Now that'd be more fuel. Or imagine just swinging their head at you and trying to bite you.
Yeah. Or 2 more hits with Wunderwaffe means if you hit yourself once with Wunderwaffe with Juggernaut, you can still take 3 more hits before you die. And
from my
be able
experience,
to ever regenerate or replenish this HP.
At least on Casino, it's 2.
While you find slumber atop the trees, and after all of this, I still find it hard to breathe. I tell myself things you never did. You need a spine like I need a skin, but neither will ever happen.
So 10 piece. Why don't you explain the folks here a bit on how high rounds work on BO1 and like the deeper details that not everybody knows.
Well, since it's such an old game, you only have a certain time frame to do high rounds, which is basically I think it's 70 hours, around 70 hours of game time, 60 to 70, of actually like you on pause playing the game before the game resets from having too many entities. And there's some things that can speed up that process, but you know, like box hits or throwing semtexes, 2 counts, claymores, things like that, they can make the game reset quicker. But so you're kind of fighting the clock when you do it, which makes it a little bit harder in my opinion. And then you also have to worry about 25-day black screen, where the screen will just go black and the game's still running, but you can't do anything with it. And it lasts 25 days. So if you hit that mark before your reset time, then either you can just reset or wait 25 more days. So that's kind of a hassle. But otherwise, yeah, you just kind of have to watch your entity count. You gotta like do everything as fast as you can. Just kill as much as possible and do a lot of time saves and things like that. I mostly only know about Moon and like Ascension a little bit. I haven't really high-rounded anything besides that. I know Call of the Dead is particularly challenging because there's not a lot of ways to kill zombies in like the later round, because there's no infinite damage weapon. That's why I prefer Moon and Ascension, because you get the T-gun or the wave gun. So yeah.
And basically, to just put it in more simpler terms, the way BO1 high rounds work is you just hit for wonder weapon, get your setup, then at some point you just try hitting it back for it again. If there's traps within the map that are involved, you just use that to your advantage. And yeah, just like 10-piece said here, I mean, okay, in world record terms, you're playing as fast as you can because the clock is ticking, the time is ticking. But if you're just
that's right.
If you're just kind of playing for like PBs or just sort of casually, high rounding casually, then that's in basic terms.
Yeah, it's also, I want to mention, I just remembered that insta-kill rounds are a thing, and somebody can chime in if they
insta-kill rounds.
I don't know if they're a thing in later games. I'm not sure. But yeah, on round 163, you begin insta-kill rounds. There will usually be like 1 round insta-kill round and then 1 round normal round, and it alternates. That can sometimes not be the rule. Sometimes it's 2 in a row, or sometimes it's 2 or 3 rounds without it. But from there on, because I don't know the full technical explanation, but I think the health value for the zombie, it goes in to be like a negative integer, so the game just counts them as one shot because they already have no health. So that's really useful. That's like a kind of like a milestone that you want to hit when you're doing high rounds, because it takes a lot of time. Like my PB on Moon is 160, and it took me, I mean, I was playing really slow. I was playing Spawn Room, which is a lot slower than playing Tunnel 11. But that took me like around 45 hours. And like I said, that's a really bad time because of the strat that I was using. But still, it just kind of shows you like how much time you have to get to 160. And 163 is, 3 rounds is a lot once you get into 160s and whatnot.
Yeah. And
so yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
And once you actually get there, it feels kind of rewarding, because the whole stress factor of just grinding rounds constantly. Once you get to 163, where the rounds start becoming insta kill rounds, it's kind of a bit of a relief, even though you still have to maintain that killer straight focus. Because if you don't maintain your focus within a BO1 run, right, you easily mess up. That's how BO1 works. Majority of the time, you're always focused. Well, you always have to be focused. Otherwise, because like one minor mistake that you make, or one minor inconvenience, screws your whole run over, and you just have to do it over again. That is also a different way in explaining how BO1 works.
Yeah, the game is very quick to punish you, and if like even a lot of people will reset if they down before they even get to insta-kill rounds, just because, like, I don't know, you just can't do that. You want to save it until after, because insta-kill rounds can be kind of overwhelming. Even though they're all one-shot, they'll still punish you for if you're not, like, quick with it. I mean, there's certain strats you have to do just to keep up with the flow of zombies, because you're killing one, like, just so frequently that you got to worry about respawns all the time. It's a lot easier when you have them in waves and you can kill them in groups, but that just, like, changes up the whole like rhythm of the game. So yeah.
Why don't you also explain the audience, like, the deeper, a bit more of the deeper details? Like, for example, I know that in Moon, I don't know if it's like a round specific thing, but there's about only 23 zombies that spawn and not the full 24.
Yeah, that's right. That's because the astronaut is always going to be on the map. I mean, most of the time it's going to be on the map. If you want to trap him, then yeah, he's going to be there like 100% of the time. But
right.
So he counts as a zombie, so it's 23. And I don't know what else. There's a lot of stuff you have to do for the Moon setup. There's a couple strats you could do. If you're starting off, like when I was starting off with this map, I did spawn room, where you just kind of do like a figure 8 around the room to round up a bunch of zombies and then just kill them with the wave gun. But it's a lot faster to do tunnel 11 once you get it decompressed and you trap the astronaut in there. You go into the other side and basically you just shoot into the window and then you shoot the ceiling spawn that's there, which is a whole challenge in itself, because if you shoot at the wrong angle towards the ceiling spawn, you can kill the master control zombie, which would just make it so none spawn there, which is nice and convenient, but it's not legal in terms of speedrunning. So yeah, that's kind of it. The thing is, you can't just run into that. You have to just kill like zombie. You have to just do kind of like a frenzy in the spawn room until round 50, until it'll be like faster to do T11. So that's kind of the gist of it. You want Gershes, and you want max wave gun. You want to have the hacker on you at all times because you have to worry about the excavator. And you want to keep your Mustang and Sally until... Oh, sorry, I don't want to die. Oh, I lost Jug. Yeah, you want to keep them until like round 60, 66. Some people do 66 just because if you can throw Gershes and not get any drops out of them, you hack the drops to get max ammos, which is like a huge plus in my opinion, because in other maps you really gotta worry about getting drops, especially max ammos. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. And then from there on, you just flow into 11 and just worry about excavator and go from there.
And that's all for Moon. But I was thinking like maybe you know the deeper details of like other maps specifically.
Like I said, I know, like, besides Moon, I know the best about Ascension, which is basically just, you want to keep, like, the first things you should worry about is keeping the jug door closed, and then killing the monkeys to get the free perk, and just hope that it's jug. If it's not, then you should just reset. Because if you want to protect your perks that you have once the monkeys come, and you really don't want them to go for jug for obvious reasons. It's ideal to get 6 perks. And so yeah, you try to get jug without opening the door first off, and then you go for the T-gun, you keep the Mustang and Sally, and the ray gun if you can get mule kick. And you do the power strat, which is basically, like I said, just kind of like frenzy killing in the power room. And then until then, you go to the rocket launch site and do kind of another loop, like I was talking about, like figure 8 thing. You kill them in the pack punch room, and then you run around so that they're respawning outside. And sorry, almost died. You just kind of keep that flow, and then if you need a drop, you throw a Gersh and pray to God that you'll get a max, which is another thing. You have to keep track of your drop cycle.
Yeah. You practically have to do that.
The order in which you get your perks is like consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, besides Moon, which is, like I said, another big reason I play this map, is I really would hate to worry about that.
You know,
So, yeah.
You know about the what's it called? The round skip glitch on Kino? I think quite a lot of high rounders know about that.
I know about the one on Moon, but not Kino.
I believe that one.
Wait, there's one on Moon? I didn't know there was one on Moon.
I didn't know with the teleporter, I believe, right?
The teleporter?
Interesting.
That's what it is on Moon. That's how you do it on
Yeah,
Moon.
the one on Kino, I believe it's just going into the fire trap at a certain timing. And I believe, like, I can't remember exactly, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the scrapped boss round that was going to be in the game. I think I heard one.
Oh, I think you're right. I feel like I've heard of that before.
I'm pretty sure that it was going to be just pure crawlers that round or something like that.
Yeah.
So, something that I don't know about, like, you know, anything about gaming code, but I assume probably something in the game's code has to do with that.
And this is
the teleporter because that's how you do it on Moon.
just like the one with Kino. It's not allowed as well for Moon and Z.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember there was a record a long time ago that someone ended up getting the round skip on, like, I don't exactly remember the round, but it was in, like, the late of the game, and he ended up holding a zombie at the end of the round for, like, I think 22 or 24 minutes, something like that, like the same amount of time as the round just to make up for it, but I don't think it was still accepted, I don't think.
Oh.
I can't remember.
That's
Maybe
interesting.
it was or wasn't, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's subtle minor details like that. Plus, there's also like other what do you call it? There's other things within BO1 that not many people know. I mean, I may know them per se, but I don't like study it because I'm not.
I don't know if 10-piece mentioned, but did you mention about the increased spawn speed when you go through the teleporter on this map?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I believe it's
pretty sure it
3
about
times.
2 rounds or something like that, or like 1 or 2 rounds. I can't remember, but it does increase the spawn speed.
That's right. Yeah, there's a multiplier on it. I don't know what it is either, but that's right. I mean, I've heard that you have to go through it 3 times for it to activate, but I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure either of it. I know that there is just that though, that you can't increase the speed of the spawns there by going through teleporter.
That's right. Yeah.
I actually have another question for you, 10-piece. Which map on BO1 would you say is the hardest for high rounds?
Probably
Call of the Dead?
I mean, Call of the Dead, yeah, but like for its own reason. Like I said, there's no way to kill zombies as you like progress with the rounds. That's why it's so impressive that somebody broke 100. That was like a very long-standing goal for people to play Call of the Dead.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, I don't know, like Verruckt is pretty hard, but at least you have the traps to progress through rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. Shangri-La is pretty easy if you know how to play it. I never got into it because I feel like it uses voice crack. But I feel like it requires a lot of setup and stuff like that.
And
Whereas
RNG.
Moon,
But maybe
so easy.
maybe
Yeah,
not
Moon.
maybe not as much RNG as Moon. Maybe not. That's kind of debatable right there.
The RNG is not even that bad though, in my opinion. Like you gotta wait for Tunnel 6, or well, you could do Tunnel 6, but I wait for T11 and then like I don't know. I feel like you're kind of good to go. Besides like the box, it can be kind of annoying. I've reset before because you play to like round 60 or something and you don't get T11. It's just kind of a hassle because I don't know. Some people can power through and play with Astronaut, but personally, it's just so annoying to do it. In my opinion. Also, that's another thing that I should mention, that you can trap the Astronaut in the tunnels if you have them in there at the same time that they're breaching.
Yeah.
He will not respawn. So, but his health scales with each round, which is another thing. So you got to keep him alive during the low rounds so that, you know, if you want to kill him just so he can respawn in the tunnel while you're still in there, you need to keep his health low, so that just like is an easy thing you can do, and then run to the tunnel as it's being excavated. He's a big part of the map.
Yeah. And the last thing I sort of want to mention about BO1, a lot of us players definitely know this for sure, is that what transpires to the next game, obviously, this game lacks a little bit of stuff, even though it's deemed to be like the hardest of the hard. Like you're always lacking ammo. The weapons that you're using, that you're firing constantly, even the wonder weapons. Like at some point, you run out of ammo, right? And then you have to re-hit the box for it, or just if you're doing like some sort of cycle experimentation where you're just grabbing weapons from box. But that's with a lot of points, obviously. Like you need to rack up a lot of points to do that. But the major thing about that is like it just gets to the point where your weapons are only basically point rackers, like marshmallow pellets. Your weapons, the only thing that's doing damage,
basically,
is the traps, if there are in the map that you're playing, and the wonder weapons, or wonder weapon of the map.
Yeah, and that's why I call it sucks so much.
Hell, even ray, I hate to say it, but even ray gun drops down too. Like this, don't think.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, the new Call of the Dead strat is pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys know the strat that got it to 100.
Yeah, you just hold them out in a window. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you use the VR11.
No, if anybody watching doesn't know anything about it, I'd recommend it. Video on it would be wonderful video. It's a really good video about it.
I watched that too.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome video about it.
It is.
And everything. Very insightful.
All right, I believe.
But yeah, without those two things, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
You gotta take one small step every day to fight the change. Just say what you have to say, ride your own wave, suck up the rain, make way for the hurricane. One step every day, don't fight the change. Don't fight it, ride your own wave, suck up the rain, make way for the hurricane.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new guest. Welcome to the Pep Talk. Welcome to the discussion, the conversation. Tom, say hello to the crowd.
What's up? How are y'all doing?
This man right here is going to be talking about the game that started the innovation within the difficulty scene, Black Ops 2. Hit us with the facts, Timmy. How do high rounds not only work on the game, but what are the deep details and the simple the little interesting facts?
Alright, well, fun fact. The only permanent trap to exist in all of Black Ops 2, well, only two, reside on Mob of the Dead, in the Warden's office and the docks. So meaning, unlike half of Black Ops 1, Shino and Derice from World of War, the only way to get kills on high rounds is to use either a special tactical, like the Hell's Redeemer, or rely on your wonder weapon, aka like the jet gun. So, trade strats, especially on like die rides and harder than ever. Then you've got the Mob of the Dead gameplay, which is super slow. where you're constantly using the Redeemer, and then you've got power up mastery like in Shang, but over in Origins.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, in a previous convo that I had with you before, you said that traps didn't come back until Mob of the Dead. Is that correct?
Correct. The last time we saw traditional traps in Black Ops 1 was in Ascension. They weren't there in Call of the Dead. You had like the spike traps that hurt you on Shang. Same with the waterfall that just kind of pushes things around. Nothing on Moon. Nothing on Transit, Nuketown, or Die Rise. And then finally on Mob of the Dead, Blundell brought back two traps. You got the fan traps, the Warden's office, and then the sniper tower.
I never realized that.
Yeah. And then they promptly went away until I believe Shadows.
Shadows.
It's either Shadows or the Giant. Yeah, because they're
No,
not.
Shadows of Evil had traps.
They're not
Nobody just really
Okay.
uses them.
That's
Right.
no. Like he was talking about, like I think he was talking about, like they didn't return until Shadows.
Oh no,
They
yeah,
don't, they're not on
he's
there,
right. He's
they're
right.
not
He's
on
right.
Origins. So
I mean,
on the Victus maps, the only way to do infinite damage outside of, say, the jet gun is to rely on buildables. For example, like on Buried, you're constantly using the subsurface resonator and the some people use the head chopper. And what the new 255 record uses the trample steam in the saloon, right?
Yep.
So
That and well, there's two 255s.
oh shit, we got a second one.
Yeah, there's one of them that was done with 0 kills.
Sweet.
yep, for Buried.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I think I want to say it was Blasters that did it. I'm on the ZWR right now, so I'll double check to make sure I'm not wrong here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no kill Buried.
Oh, yeah, Blasters
Issue is Issue that did it. The no kill 255.
Yeah. And going back to the traps for a second, actually, and I did mention this in a previous conversation we had, Tom. Even though it's more so of a transportation system, it is kind of a trap because you have to use it at some point to kill the horde within Origins. The tank that you use to ride on is kind of like a trap.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. Like in my eyes, like a trap would be something you have to buy. Like you wouldn't, like, for example, like maybe some people might consider the bus with its little ram thing on it a trap, but
Yep.
I wouldn't, just
Yep.
because you don't buy it.
Literally
It's
the
not
same
something
thing
you
on
can
transit.
consider
That people
purposely.
use the bus to kill the horde. Exactly. But the difference,
Yeah,
the difference with the bus and the tank on Origins is the bus you don't
control
really.
when the bus, like the tank comes versus the bus, you don't get any chance to control it. Really.
Yeah,
No, it's,
but I was mostly gonna say like the bus is not a purchasable like.
yeah, that's what I
object.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't interact with it and call it at any point. That's what I was talking about. Like, you can't
Right,
buy it
it's
and like call it.
Like it's almost like a random instance that you have to know whether it comes or not just by listening to audio clues.
Gotta listen out for that horn.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, you can interact with it a little bit. Like, for example, if you it tends to move faster. Like, leave an area faster if nobody's at that specific area, or if
Really?
you or like if you hop on the bus, you stand on it, it will
Yeah,
generally
I know that one. I know
stop.
that one. I just didn't know about the. I didn't know about it. It won't stay for long. I always thought that it would always stay at the same location for the same amount of time, even if there's nobody there.
I think if it checks if there are any players in the active zones where it's at.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no. It would be able to do that, especially with how much further the engines were developed with zombies and BO2.
For sure.
Mhm.
I do know there is it does get faster as the rounds go on. Like it takes longer stops in the early rounds, and then it'll slowly go quicker and quicker.
That makes sense.
Super, is there anything you'd like to add?
He's in here.
Oh, wait, did he leave the...
No, he's in the call right now, but I don't know if he's at his desk, because I remember earlier he was yelling to us from like far away. So who knows? But I was gonna mention something quick, just like a random question, because I don't know. You ever think like 200 plus will be hit on transit?
Well, there's a patch for the jet gun and trap to go past 156.
Is there? Really? I didn't hear about that. Yeah, no, because I remember I always talk to a good friend of mine, and he always says that he feels like once the error gets figured out on transit, that's going to be the next map to get like 255 probably on BO2.
I imagine, yeah. Once they finally figure it out, because it took forever for Mob to get over 200 too, and then they finally figured out how to circumvent that with the traps. So I wonder if it's going to be similar.
I feel, yeah, exactly. Like there's got to be something around it, because I'm sure that someday we'll figure it out, and there'll be a really good 200 on it. Oh, here goes Chubbs.
He probably timed out.
Yeah, he probably timed out, exactly.
He might join back though.
Yeah, he probably will. He's still online. I'll message him and tell him that he disconnected.
Yeah.
Look, he disconnected.
What else was I gonna say? Shit, messing around. We both said that at the same time. fucking brain fart.
Nah, I know the feeling. Don't worry. I'm trying to think of another question that I could ask him, because as I told you before, I'm not the most familiar with BO2 exactly.
I'm a little bit familiar,
so like,
because I played the maps, not all of them, but.
I think my two favorite things about Black Ops 2. First one being, it's sad to see Zelensky go, but I really liked having a game where you got to see both style of design philosophies. Like,
it was very intriguing.
Oh yeah, it's like, even though Transit and Die Rise suffered from quality, you could clearly see the experimentation and innovation that Zelensky really wanted to push through, and hell, even with Buried, and as simple of a map as Nuketown is, having the random perk spawns, and bring back fire sales, it's really neat when you can compare and contrast that to Mob and Origins. You get to have that raw World at War BO1 gameplay oriented design versus the movie style design that Lundell throws in later on with Mob, Origins, and then BO3 and 4. It's really nice to have a game where you get to play and experience both of those perspectives. And I really wish that they would have kept both of them throughout Black Ops 3, because I know there's a lot of people that get turned off by by how maps were designed in BO3. They like the older ones, but then there's also people that really liked BO3 and how BO4 style of design.
Yeah.
If we kept having games with a nice mix.
It's always I've always I will always be a fan of that. Like something we were discussing before with Super and between us all basically was the difference between each Call of Duty game and how amazing, how pretty much every Call of Duty game has its own flaws, of course, but it also has its own differences. So Black Ops 4, you're playing and all that stuff, and it has its different hit system, it has its different perk system. Black Ops 1 you play and it's harder. It's Black Ops 2 you play and it's more refined. It's more
Exactly.
Every game has its differences, and it's very interesting. It's very nice.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's got its own quirks and qualities.
There's some...
its own charm.
Oh, yeah. Now I actually remember what I was going to say. One of the things that I'm pretty sure a lot of players know how to do, especially the high rounders, is, and you can do it from World of War to BO2. I don't think people do it often within World of War, but definitely within BO1 and BO2. Within a few of the starting rounds on any given map, let's say, you can fast knife, and this is mostly a keyboard and mouse thing. I don't think you can. It's impossible to do it with controller. It's mostly a keyboard and mouse thing.
You can do it on controller. It's just a lot more difficult. You got to do like the movements with your hands are a lot more,
Yeah.
difficult to do on a controller than they are.
I mean, I didn't think it was kind of possible
doable
on controller, but it's just not. It's just not.
I think if you
often
have
used.
what's it called? If you have one of those, if you have a fucking scuff controller, yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
Like
the
controller
way
with
this
like
function.
a YY on it, yeah.
Basically, the way this function works is you just hold the shooting button and you press V or whatever keybind is your knifing button as fast as you can, and that is what you call fast knifing. It is often used in the early rounds of BO1 and BO2 maps to speedrun high rounds.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I want to say it's actually even faster if you knife with a buildable in front of you. Like if
I
you're
think
holding
so.
down
Yeah,
your
that
button,
is no. You're right. Yeah, with the build because BO2, like I said.
Yeah, I think it literally takes away
yeah.
pretty much all the animation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from Shield, of course.
I told you, man. This is the game of re-innovation. That literally the simplified version of BO1, just improved. You got the buildables. You got a bit more ammo. You got better wonder weapons. The normal weapons do a little bit more of damage.
It's incredible. It's incredible to think that they introduced the idea of buildables in BO1 and just literally took it and just crafted it into something so much more than it was in BO1 and with how simple it was.
Oh yeah, actually, there's a great.
What do you mean in
where you
BO1?
have,
Don't you mean BO2?
5.
Yeah, 5. 5 and
5 had the first ever buildable trap. You had to
That's
turn it on and build it.
right. That's right. Yeah. No, 5 did have that. My bad.
Yeah, no, 5 had the first ever buildable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of that philosophy, where they take a basic idea they had in BO1 and then expanding on it. If you take that buildable idea, you can then apply it to the wonder weapons. And if you
Absolutely.
look at most of the wonder weapons in BO1 are simple. You shoot once and it knocks out a whole horde. With exception of the baby gun, of course. If you look at Black Ops 2, the differences between how all the wonder weapons work, how they're gotten, their ammo situation, it's entirely different. You got the jet gun, infinite damage, infinite ammo, but extremely annoying to use. But then you immediately go to the Sliquifier, which one-shots multiple hordes if you use it right. Back to the Blundergat, which is just a strong shotgun. And then to the Paralyzer, which you can literally fly with it. And then back to the status.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way how they made the building on Origins was good. Or you could actually carry all the parts at once instead of having to carry them individually. I'm pretty sure that's where you can use that,
Mob,
right?
I believe.
Oh, Mob? Even better.
Mob, and then I don't know if you can count Buried. Because Buried, you the player can only pick up one, but then you could give candy to Leroy, and then he'll carry them all with him.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Can he also build it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He can build it for you. Yep.
Great. What a fucking legend. We love Leroy.
We love Leroy. That's right. He's such a fucking G.
Oh god.
Why did they get rid of him in Horizon Drum, man?
Do you have any idea why?
Because
I don't know.
They'll have to make up a whole new story and retcon a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Any more
One
small
thing
quirks that you know?
You might know a little bit more about this than I do. I was going to ask him about the spawn manipulation for transit first room, where you stand in the one corner by Quick Revive and they spawn outside.
Oh yeah. There's like a spot where you clip just far enough that the game thinks you're in the next zone over, and it'll start spawning zombies outside.
It's interesting how the spawns work on BO2 with zones versus BO1, because BO1 the zone has to be open, like actually open, like the door has to be open for the zombies to be able to spawn inside that room. Versus BO2 where they changed it, where they made it so the zone, if it's loaded in and if your character's in that zone, then zombies still spawn there.
Oh yeah.
Well, pretty interesting. There are still exceptions, of course. Like if you get into power, like off the bus by doing a ray gun Mark II shot, I'm pretty sure zombies can spawn back in there. Nothing's loaded at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because the you can't even pick up.
Literally, you can't pick up anything. Yeah, only time you can, because the zone's not loaded in, so nothing's loaded in, pretty much.
Right. Well, I think they have transit and especially Dire Eyes. They have a lot of like out of sight spawns where zombies will seemingly come from different buildings and like migrate to you versus just coming up to a barrier, like how most of the BO1 spawns are.
Yeah, exactly.
Like town, for example, every spawner on the map is active right at the beginning.
Yep.
So it looks like they're coming from all over town, to you in the middle.
Yep, and that's very aesthetic, very good, design choice for the map. It looks fucking sick.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, especially for Nuketown. Nuketown does that a ton.
Nuketown does it like crazy. They spawn on top of the roofs, they spawn on top of the sides of the buildings, they spawn in the little unrepairable barriers.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
I think Nuketown's the first map we got without a rebuildable.
That's
barriers.
also true, yeah. Think about it, yeah.
The first map of Carpenter didn't exist since Shinonuma or Darius?
Wait, Carpenter?
I think it's either one of those. Yeah, Carpenter.
Yeah, because it was just max double instant nuke for Noct and Verruckt, and then it was either Shinonuma or Darius where they dropped a Carpenter, because it was still all about keeping the barriers closed and surviving.
I thought you were on about Nuketown for a second.
What do you mean?
Nuketown doesn't have barriers.
Barriers?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't have barriers.
Not a single one. And they swapped the Carpenter out for a fire cell.
Yep.
I realized the whole thing about adding denizens and fog was to keep the map from not having to load as much as possible.
Yep.
But, God, a fire cell would have been so nice.
Wait, what do you mean a fire cell? A fire cell like the other maps besides Nuketown, or?
No, put a fire cell on transit. Because the whole reason why the fog and the denizens and the lava exist on transit is to slow the player down.
Right.
Yeah,
Because the
because
engine couldn't load
the
the map
engine
fast enough.
the Xbox and all that stuff just wasn't strong enough. The PlayStation wasn't strong enough to load everything at once.
Right.
Without massive frame drops.
So it's I get why there's not a fire cell, but God, it would have been so nice.
With the computers we have nowadays, we could just turn off fog on PC and just see the map in its glory and see how empty it is. But
Just imagine if they just waited. It once they realized that they couldn't deliver the high quality map Zelensky wanted, why couldn't they have just stopped transit, focus on the survival experience,
exactly,
and then just drop transit later?
that would have been, dude. Can you imagine if they dropped transit in BO3?
Oh God, that would have been. I mean, how is a map like Origins even possible when you have transit? Origins took basically everything that transit had and refined it, made it look prettier, and it runs
And
just
gave
fine.
it
on
an error
console.
that is not skippable.
Well, We love the robots.
We love them.
We love the
Yeah.
robots, bro.
What's the limit, do you think, for the high round on Origins? Do you think that's been hit already, or do you think it's gonna be surprised that it's
I think the reset's already. I think it's super low. Isn't it only like 26 hours because of the
yeah,
robots?
because the error. I think the error hits at like 25 and a half or like 26 hours, but like the actual reset of the map is like I think in the hundreds.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Like if you were able to get past the error, I think the resets in like the hundreds.
That sounds
like
right.
100 error or something like that.
Yeah, every BO2 map stuff there isn't.
Yeah, every BO2 map is about. I think every BO2 map, like I think the lowest one is like 80 hours or something like that. I think something like that, like 80, 90 hours.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go to the
Terrorize mode.
yeah.
So which map on BO2 would you say is the hardest, Tom?
Just for general high rounds.
To me, for me,
There's a lot
I
of
would say
categories you can
Mob of the Dead is the hardest.
Like, when it comes to that question, it can be also broken down into so many different categories, because it's like, there's like certain maps are easier with certain things. Other maps are harder. Like you said, like which one's harder, like Buried No Power or fucking Diarize No
the
Power.
different the different categories.
Like
that would not just
like
being
you know what I mean.
yeah
Like
yeah,
it really
yeah,
depends on what the context of it is.
Right. I mean, yeah, like that's the great thing about these maps is there's so many different ways to play them. It's not just cut and straightforward like BO1 World of War.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Like even like that's one thing I'll always be happy about as a customs player for World at War is the fact that most customs maps actually have quick revive networks.
True. Very true.
So I can live and play the game out instead of dying once and then having to restart.
I think if you were going for just standard gameplay, going for higher rounds, I think it's probably Nuketown. Nuketown in itself is tight, and the zombies.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah,
but then you don't have a wonder weapon. You got the ray gun Mark 1 and Mark 2, and it's just like it's a constant trade strat. And sometimes the box just goes in areas that are just such a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like even a casual 50, you still have to pull up your pants a bit and look at the screen pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with a late game jug.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, especially like the random perks. The random perk drops are interesting. I think, and also that's also something we could bring up. Nuketown was the first ever map I think to have random perk spawns, right?
Yep.
If you Shino Numa.
Oh, Shino. Well, yeah, that one. Yeah. Didn't Shangri-La as well?
Yeah, Shang did too.
So yeah, no.
But like Nuketown was I think it's the first and only one, if I'm not mistaken, to have like perk drop, like spawns be gated.
Yeah, like literally, gated by rounds, exactly.
Because like they may spawn in different areas, like Shino Numa and Shang, but how soon you got them was entirely your choice versus the game's choice.
Oh, I just thought of something actually kind of ironic. So I just realized that every single game of zombies has a map that has random perk spawns, pretty much. Shadows has random perk spawns.
Yeah.
Same with the Giant.
And then BO2 Nuketown, and then BO1 Shang, and then Dead of the Night.
Does Cold War have one?
I have never played Cold War, so I couldn't tell you.
I've played very little Deep Machine and won a game of Fire.
No, I think
I know Deep Machine.
More experience than myself.
And then Vanguard has a Shino Numa Reborn.
Yeah.
Best version, by the way.
God damn it! I knew he was gonna say that.
I will die on that hill.
I will die on that hill.
Covenant system alone.
Oh my god! So Nuketown deemed as the hardest. I'd still probably go with Mob, but I think categories would make it the more interesting. Like, for example,
Yeah.
I would go as to say that no power on buried seems like a genuine challenge.
Well, can't you still just camp on the bank roof?
You can. Yeah, but it doesn't work like it used to back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah, like it has fall off. I think it doesn't work very well past like round, I think 50 or something like that, or like I don't know if we can even get a kill at 100.
I want to say the hard cap is.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a second here. No power buried is 255 is issues. Issues did is 255 on no power.
Right.
Yeah, but he used the turbine, didn't he? Or was it just Tramplestein?
I think it's Tramplestein only.
Oh.
Because issues. Yeah, no power, no kills. That was during his no power game. I mean, his no kills game.
About Permajug and a Tramplestein. I guess you're chilling.
Yeah, literally. Just looking through the no power, the no power one, I'd have to say definitely the hardest no power I've seen is Speed Transit.
Yeah. Because you can't even get that check gun part.
77.
Power station's not.
True. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's essentially playing a worse town.
Yeah, no, basically, yeah. You're literally playing city. You're not playing town anymore. You're playing small country.
Nah, you're playing fucking Barbie house style, bro.
You know, I wonder if it would be faster.
Lego City Adventures.
Faster to use the AK for the M16 buy, or to just spam the Semtexes.
Good question. I don't know. It really depends, I guess, because like, wasn't the strat to buy the M16 and upgrade it, and then put it in the fridge for the no power game, and then use the M16 wall buy in the tunnel, and then use that.
Yeah, that's my thought. That or the AK. But I know there's a dedicated first room challenge for town where you use where you stay on the Semtex.
Yeah, Semtex only. Yeah.
So I wonder. I've never tried using Semtexes like legitimately for higher rounds. So I wonder how they fare, compared to the M16. It's probably slower because
it definitely. I feel like it would be slower, and also it would definitely be more dangerous.
True. Right? I mean, maybe if you had multiple people, it wouldn't be that bad because you just have one or two people trained with Permajug, and then everyone else just constantly spams Semtexes. I guess solo it'd be really difficult to do that though.
Absolutely, yeah. First rooms. That's also another good one to talk about.
Yeah.
There's so many different little things that have to do with first rooms in BO2.
I agree.
Without a doubt, it's got to be Dire Eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Absolutely.
No, yeah. I hate to say it, but I kind of think Dire Eyes was a great first room.
That's a lot of fun. It's just
it's a challenge, but it's not like it's a challenge, yes, but it's not like unfair challenge.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Mob might be the hardest.
Look at that. Noah J just X-filled on round 116.
116?
Yeah.
Nice. So he currently has the world record for a bit.
Yeah, good for him.
Jeez,
Like
nice.
this is the only solo record I could ever get.
I can't see because his face cam, but I don't know if that right-hand side is his downs. If that's 0 downs, I'm gonna be surprised.
Oh yeah, I think it is 0. He didn't even buy a self-revive the entire game.
That's crazy. Honestly, GG. GG.
Very cool.
So is there anything else you're missing, Tom? Any niche little, because I feel like there's still like small little details within BO2.
You could talk forever about Black Ops 2. Like how on Buried, there's a different little soundtrack that plays depending on what room you're in, for every room. All the different, like how Leroy is basically the hacker, but in BO2.
Yep, that's true.
Wow.
He's just a refined hacker.
Straight up.
You're
And
right.
there's so many little things. You know, there's a lot of, for as much content as there is, and a lot of, I guess, dispute directors. You know, there's a ton of charm and character put into this game, and even the maps considered to be bad still have a lot of enjoyment you can get out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there'll ever be a game like BO2 again, and so you just gotta cherish it. Get every ounce of enjoyment as you can for as long as you can.
For sure. Amen, brother.
People are still doing that to this day.
Hell yeah.
You know what time it is, Charles?
What time is it?
Yo, Tsunami, hit that shit. Play the clip.
Beerus, my lord, is there something you wish to say?
Here it comes.
It's BO3 time. Where do I start with this one? Start with the bad boy, huh? Okay, I'm gonna be honest here for a second. And y'all that are watching, don't come at me in the comments. All right, this my opinion about this game has slightly changed a little bit, just a little bit. But don't come at me in the comments. All right, just hear me out. I still like the game, and I have it in the highest of regards, but mostly because of custom maps and mods, right? And I think where BO3 did a little bit of a faulty error in terms of difficulty is adding AATs and gobblegums. Hey, I said don't come at me in the comments. Alright? Listen. I'm just saying what I gotta say. That doesn't mean that I hate the gobblegum system and AATs. I don't necessarily mind them. It's just that when you make a game function that's just so overpowered to the point where it makes the game a little easy, it kind of gets a little bit boring, and that same grind factor that same grindy kind of factor that was already there starts to fade away a little bit.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'd rather sit down for 6 hours and run a trap strat than sit down for 6 hours and run around with AATs.
Like you
I
just
feel that,
yeah, like you just feel like you're going on forever, dog. That's
No, literally, like no matter how fast the SPH is of the horde of the rounds of the strat you're doing, It always feels
The
slow.
maps are The maps are great from
Oh, they're
Shadows of
fantastic.
Evil to Revelations and the Chronicle remasters, but like
I don't mind gobblegums. Like gobblegums are fine, but like the AATs are what annoy me. Literally just turning any weapon into a wonder weapon. But at the same time, I understand kind of why they did it, just because of the fact of like it was a harder game. Like they were trying to probably make it easier for the casuals to play. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't want to have a game like that would be super hardcore where everybody has to just, you know, grab the Apothicon Servant and only be able to use that the whole game and do trade strats the whole game with the Apothicon. I don't think they wanted that, so I assume that was probably like the main thing.
yeah. The gameplay flow of like the constant B slide hopping, that's great. I love the sliding mechanic, hands down.
Oh yeah.
But the
Easter eggs on the game too are good. Like they're good in the fact of like speed running and all that stuff. Like they're great for speed runs. They're great for like just content in general. Like especially for the time when they came out, the storyline was great and all that stuff. But like the main thing that like I'd say caused me to what was it called? I'd say the main thing that I didn't like about Black Ops 3 personally was just like literally the AATs. That was it. The AATs was what like pushed me over it. That's why I don't really like to play certain maps. Like there's certain maps that don't have AATs on Black Ops 3. Dirty's Declassified is one of them, which is just a straight up remake of Dirty's.
I mean, if you were to include, the high ground world record sort of categories within the base maps, that would actually make it a lot more enticing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Easy example. Doing what is it? No power in Shadows, and you just hit box. That's literally BO1 right there. You're hitting box for the Apothicon back.
Yep.
Bro, like there's that same grind factor again. Because you're not including AATs and you're not including goblins.
Yeah, exactly. Like I same thing in the fact of like where I said 6 hours of trap strat instead of the AATs. I'd rather also do trade strat for 6 hours. Like at least if I get a one-hit trade within that 6 hours, I'll get fucking hyped. Like I'll get some help, like a hell of a lot of fucking hype going through my system if I see that shit. But for AATs, it's like, oh, I'm waiting for my dead wire to recharge for 5 seconds. Oh, been 30 seconds now. Time for me to shoot another zombie and make him a turn zombie. Then Revelations is when it got crazy. For the easy part of it, but like.
You mean the whole like having two wonder weapon thing?
Yeah.
Nah, that shit was a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I know. Especially for the fact that they actually like of all maps, like remember when this is actually something we can talk about for a quick second. Mm-hmm. Remember when Shadows of Evil first released and you could do the glitch to pack punch the Apothicon?
Oh my god, yes, and they patched it.
And they patched it, but then they added back in the upgraded Apothicon in a map where you had a thunder gun in it already.
What do you mean?
Remember Revelations? They added back in the packed Apothicon because you got it through the shooting stones, and then you could upgrade it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like they have the upgraded Apothicon on a map where you have a thunder gun, but then on on Shadows where you don't have any sort of thunder gun or any other weapon besides the Apothicon really to kill things in high rounds. Unless you want to run trap. Yeah. Like another thing we could also actually there's still some you've seen the new strats people are doing on Shadows for the 255 speedrun? Where they just sit outside of the spawn room with the spawn door closed.
Yeah, I see it all the time now.
That is a crazy strat, man. That is a crazy thing. Like I remember I first tried to do of course I didn't try and do the strat when I was younger and I first played the map, but I accidentally ran around the whole other side and didn't open the spawn door, and I got killed by the fucking the automatic death barriers that are on the other side. Yeah. And I was thinking man, that sucks. I was hoping I could explore the map, and then fucking 6-7 years later, all of a sudden, bang! Everybody's exploring the map with doing the thing that I did when I was younger, but because there's a 15-second window or whatever that causes the kill or whatever. I can't remember if it's every 10 seconds or 15 seconds that it checks if you're in the in range for it. I know there's a certain time limit though for when it checks for if you're in the death barriers.
It's crazy. But no, yeah, I still like BO3 obviously, just not.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that there's a few people that would agree with us absolutely. I still love BO3 to death.
Yeah.
But I love it for a lot of reasons. I love it for customs. I love it for for the game itself. It came out at a time when I was young, and I still enjoyed Call of Duty thoroughly.
No, hold on.
I was still hyped about Call of Duty when I was younger and all that shit back then and all that, and I still had my small group of friends that I half went to school with.
Charles, baby boy, let's rewind that back a
second. I'm sorry.
Hit it with another banger, bro. Let's talk about them custom maps for a second. This is one of the main reasons why I love this game. And it would be wrong of me not to do a custom map / mod section. Listen, Treyarch. You gotta bring back mod tools at some point. Come on.
Do it for BO6.
No,
do it for
I don't
BO6,
listen.
Treyarch.
Listen, I don't.
Or something.
I sadly don't think it's gonna happen for BO6, but
probably not. I make a dream though.
I've been told that it's gonna do for it might happen for COD 2025. I don't exactly know if that rumor is true. I hope so.
That'd be nice.
But
that would certainly be nice.
We haven't had mod tools since BO3.
Do you have any idea off the top of your head when the BO3 mod tools were released to the communities and were able to be used to make maps?
I mean, I was definitely told I was told that one person definitely started it all. And without him, it wouldn't have been a thing. But I also do think that the files were somehow compiled for BO3. Like that's the part that I don't think was exactly explained. Like I don't know. Either the files were compiled or they weren't, but someone figured out how to do it and make mod tools possible.
That's really interesting because I could have swore that it was something about like Treyarch had to release it to people and all that stuff. And the last time that there was a release of it was BO1, so they ended up releasing it to Steam to make it easier or something like that. I'm probably wrong with that.
I'm just glad that it became a thing.
But yeah, no, I'm so happy.
Listen. I'm glad it became a thing because not only has this game carried the community for such a long time, but look at all of this cool shit that you can get to play and try just by having the game. Look at all these cool maps, all these cool fucking mods and shit that people make from these reused assets over the years. Bro, who would not want that?
Another amazing mod that I highly recommend everybody who has BO3 to try would be the Ultimate Experience mod for BO3. That mod completely restyles the game, completely remakes the game.
That's the one by Spinks, right? Yeah,
I do believe so.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And it makes it adds a whole new leveling system to the game. It makes adds camo, adds everything.
His mod recently just got the Halloween update for this month.
Huge.
Yep.
Actually, huge W.
Oh my god. You know what, bro? I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna send you this right now. Actually.
Alright. But yeah, no, like BO3 Customs is where
no.
In my opinion, is it's basically World at War was when it was an infant, and then BO1 was when it just got
yes. Bro,
going through
explain
high
it.
school, and
this
then
is
fucking literally now it's an adult when it hit BO3, and then the next one is gonna be what? The next one is gonna be something even better. I guarantee it. It's gonna be great. I cannot wait for the next customs thing to be released.
The basic way of explaining it, bro. This is how it went. World of War got up so that BO1 can slightly walk, but BO3 can run.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is
for the customs community, BO3 is definitely where it's at, especially if your computer's strong enough to handle playing the game, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Look at these two fucking mods that I'm sending you, bro. Those cosmetic mods go fucking ham, bro.
And it's still.
Listen, the first one that I sent you, it got an update recently, and let me tell you, the first one already had BO6 early camos.
That's sick.
You got the what? The PAP camos that are in BO6, which the game is obviously out now, but
yeah,
bro, the camos are literally in the game. Some of the BO6 camos.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure some of them got data mined. Yeah.
No, it's fucking oh my god, those kind. And then you have the fucking the character UI HUD where you get to choose your own character, whether it's the default ones or the custom ones that he's made, which are the Black Ops War, the Cold War looking operators, bro. Oh my god, that's just so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so cool that you can.
Tools.
So
like as the years have gone on as well, people have gotten more used to these mod tools that are out, and they've gotten better at making mods with the tools. It's great.
let me keep it explaining. So there's character selection. You can pick the character that you obviously want, even though it resets every time. Every time you restart. What else? The HUD UI as a whole has additional changes as well. Like, let's say, for example, you want custom perk icons from like the base games or of different colors. We got you.
That's cool.
Yeah. It can be either like. Bro, you can literally have.
Oh wait, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like I literally just thought about something. One thing we gotta mention as well, like we're talking about like downloadable content just in a whole. Black Ops 3 has some of the coolest custom skins ever. Some of the nicest
Yes, bro. Yes.
Custom inspections, custom skins made by actual players that love this game more than anything. It is crazy. Some of them are fucking nuts.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It truly is amazing.
It's crazy how much of a community that the game has, and how much passion some people still will have for this game years down the road.
Have you seen the fucking like body cam footage of maps like that? Have you seen that yet?
You might have to send that to me.
Oh, I don't know what you're doing. You kind of missing out on that.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about. It's like.
Hold on. I got you, bro. You're gonna be
I'll let you know if I've seen it before, because if it's something I've seen, like I'm better at visual.
Charles, your mind is gonna be fucking blown. I guarantee you.
I hope so. I can't wait. But yeah, no. Another thing also that we can talk about like really quickly while you're looking for that is every map has been 255 now.
It is. Oh my god.
Every single map has had a 255 on it. Do you like the max? That's actually something we can talk about quick too. Do you like the max round limit of 255, or do you wish that it had no limit?
You're talking about the 255 round cap? I never liked the round cap.
I remember when every single map hit round 255 on like a Wonderful video. I'm pretty sure one of the top comments on it is removing the cap.
Right.
Because it's like one or two lines of code in the game that you just need to change, and it makes safety pass.
And something crazy about that actually is not all of the BO3 mappers know how to do that. Which is crazy.
Literally.
Like, to remove the round cap, you only need to change 2 lines of code. Who does not know that? That's insane.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts.
Anyways, I sent you the clip. Tell me that does not look astonishingly fire.
What is this, just BO3?
This is within BO3, bro. It's a fucking body cam survival experience that I think is still being worked on.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
And I see it's on Alpha Omega.
Like, it's that good.
That is awesome. Wow. Bro's computer must be fucking insane. Holy shit, he must be working for NASA with that one.
Like, bro, the person that figured this out, bro, I'm just like, how did you make this? it never fails to amaze me the amount of cool stuff that people can make on this game.
No, it'll never. I swear to God,
it will
every
never
year,
it will never fail me.
every year the community just gets better and better with it. I swear. There's eventually it's I don't know if it's ever gonna stop getting better. I swear, every year there's just a new skin that comes out that's better than the last one. I don't think there's gonna be a point where the new skin comes out and everybody's gonna be like, ah. Sure, you can get really some people get really boring and basic with their skins that they make and upload to Steam, but the good ones, when you see them, you're gonna keep them.
That's crazy. But yeah, I think that's good in that end. Just bring it back, Treyarch. Please.
Yeah, bring it back.
Please. It would be amazing to see mod tools on a different engine. It would be amazing.
It would be. What, in your opinion, was the gobblegum that was just the strongest? By far. Most useful in every situation.
Most useful?
Yeah, in every situation. May as well ask a few questions. Because for me, I don't know, I feel like it really depends on which situation. Every situation, I guess maybe it probably has to be immolation, liquidation.
I will definitely say my 2 most used gobblegums, or at least my 3 most used, are Perka, obviously. Perka, Alchem, and Temporal.
Yeah. Yeah, Alchem is just so good.
Fucking overpowered as shit. Way too overpowered.
Yeah, that's why in BO4 they had to move it to a common level instead of a classic.
Yeah. In BO4 they made you fucking pay for that shit.
Yeah. Unless you're like me and you just never used anything.
You want alchemical? Nah, you gotta pay for it. Fuck you.
Exactly. And it's a common too, and if you want to try and get it, you gotta open common shit instead of rare stuff. So you spend more time. Yeah, no, fucking. This campaign for BO3 was also good, from what I've heard. Campaign for BO3 was also good, from what I heard.
BO3's campaign? Alright, there's been a slight change in plans. Everyone at this point, it's current day, January 21st of 2025, and at this current day and age, the people that I was doing the recording stuff with, they are no longer doing the rest of the whole portion recording bits of the respective games. So I'm here to take over and just speak from not just what I know, but of what I've seen and what I think about the games, these last few games that I'm going to cover over so far. So yeah, let's just get it started.
You feeling better now?
You can do it, Trunks. Just shake it off. terrified. You bastard!
Okay, Black Ops 4. As I said, these last few games that I'm covering are going to be a little bit short and a little bit more short, a little more simpler. So I'm just gonna cover them. Right. BO4. So not only do I feel a little bit iffy about this one, like the game definitely has changed upon me. The I've only played BO4 once in my life, once in a lifetime, and that was the gameplay that you see right now on the map 9. And to be honest with you, this is the only map that I would ever play again. I feel like, not to say that the other maps are bad. I just really liked this one a lot. But right, so going into the difficulty factor real quick here. Um, and I'm just kind of going off of No Name's most recent video that I saw like a day or two ago. What am I trying to say? So to explain briefly, BO4's high rounds are pretty much all it is on almost every map. I'm pretty sure is just Helion Salvo, fucking specialist weapon. You camp with camping in a certain or specific spot on the map. And what I have to say about that is, like, I do like BO4. I just feel like I wouldn't do that so consecutively. Like, I'm the kind of player that doesn't necessarily mind like stand and shoot simulator maps or stand and shoot simulators in general. I don't mind that. It's just when you do it so repeatedly, it gets to the point where it's just kind of boring, and you don't always want to do that as a high round player. But and I'm just being completely honest here. I feel like I would rarely high round BO4. Like, I feel like BO4 would be one of those games, or the one specific game where I would actually just go back in time and play just for fun. But if I'm ever gonna high round on BO4, it's just gonna be, for a specific brief little moment. Just a specific brief little moment. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the only time I would actually play BO4, unless it's like someone wants to actually high round on a specific map with me, then sure, I guess. But as far as the actual game as a whole, I would probably just play for fun. Like, I would genuinely go back in time to play this game again if I had the chance to. I currently don't own it, so that is unfortunate.
Who is that? Timmy! 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 Timmy!
The worst zombies game in the fucking franchise for high rounds. Cold War. I absolutely hate this fucking game because of how cheap and gullibly easy this experience is. I fucking hate it. I don't think I would ever play it. Like, it's just not it. It's just not it. More power to you if you're someone that likes Cold War. More power to you. That's fair to you. But someone like me, who's like super, not just super dedicated to the grind, but like, like the way it's just laid out in terms of gameplay and difficulty is just so boring. It's so fucking stale. There's no challenge in this shit game. Like, I'm sorry, there's just no challenge in this game. You got everything in Cold War is pretty much hand fed to you, and the zombies are no longer a threat. Not to mention, the game is broken as fuck. The game is broken. Like, why would you try to high round a broken game? There's just no fun in that. I could explain all the wrong things about Cold War, but No Name already explained it briefly in his video. I don't have to go over it myself too, just because you're watching my video. But fuck, bro, this game is just so fucking dog shit. And this was at the point where high rounds were at, like, the high round scene as a whole was at an all-time fucking low, all-time super low. I just, game is so fucking shit.
This is game over. This is game over.
I don't want this video to be too negative, so we have a special honorable mention here. This is a game that I actually look very very briefly upon in like a very good way. But like, it's a game that definitely could have launched at a better time. Whether the Chronicles DLC for BO3 happened or not, it definitely could have launched at a better time. But yeah, this is IW Zombies. And the reason why I definitely look up to the way this game works is because it kind of works like BO1 in a way. Like, it's still I'm trying not to fucking stutter my words here. But IW essentially kind of works like BO1, where yes, there's sliding involved, but you're actually kind of hopping from side to side when you're training hordes and shit. And I like that. I like that kind of movement. Not more than the normal B hop sliding like in BO3, but yeah. No, I fucking love that type of movement still. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it a little bit short here for IW. So I mostly like Spaceland and Raven the Redwoods for IW. I still have yet to play all the maps and the game as a whole, high round the maps thoroughly. I still have yet to do that, which I don't know when that will be. I actually own the game myself. I bought it, I think, last year or the year before that. I tried installing it one time, but for some odd reason it showed this like content storage error or something when I tried loading the game. So I am not able to play IW at the moment, or I wasn't able to play it at that brief moment in time. If anyone can help me out with getting IW to work, just let me know in the comments. That would be very appreciated. But no, yeah, IW, I definitely look briefly upon. The first two maps, absolutely love them. Shaolin Shuffle is kind of like my third favorite in the maps DLC expansion. The other two I don't like so much. Radioactive Thing, The strat essentially is you just kind of fucking hold the within the gameplay that you're seeing right now on Radioactive Thing. You're kind of holding this machine. There's a strat where all you have to do is just stand and hold that thing. Again, like I said in the BO4 coverage, I don't mind stand and shoot, or whatever you call it, simulators. I don't mind them. It just gets boring and repetitive when you're kind of doing the same thing over and over in that kind of gameplay stance. But
That's not to say that it's not a bad map. I think it's definitely plausible for high rounds. I'm just not sure if I would do it myself. As well as Beast and Beyond. To be honest, I don't understand why people hate the high rounds of that game, or at least I should say like the map overall. People don't like the map overall on Beast and Beyond. Yet I rarely hear about how high rounds work on that map. To be completely honest, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for IW. The last major thing I would say is I just wish that this game launched at a better time that wasn't in Zombie BO3's Chronicles DLC. I really wish it spawned at launched at a better time because it would have gotten better recognition, the recognition that it deserved, but it is what it is. At the end of the day though, I still love it. This is but I guess besides BO4, this is the one game that I would definitely come back to the most and actually high round. BO4 is just like, I would kind of play for fun to be honest. But IW I would definitely high round because the way you move in the game is just is so like BO1. I fucking love it. We finally made it to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I really thought I was gonna like this game, but it turns out at this current moment, at this current day and age, January 21st, 2025, we're almost into the launch of the next Zombies map DLC 2 for season 2 of BO6. I really thought I was gonna like this game, but it's just been seeming like I don't. Not even the fucking Omni movement saves this game. Not even close. The game, the gameplay for high rounds is similar to Cold War, and I think it's far worse than it's ever been. You got you got what? Server instability issues. You got lag constantly, and you always have to save because if you don't, you might lose your game progress. The game is always constantly online, which is a major fucking problem. The point system is completely garbage. You got the rarity system back from Cold War still. You spawn in with loadouts. What else? What else? Um, the zombies themselves and the enemies just something tells like the zombies mostly, but something tells me that the enemies as well, like the variant enemies is like the special bosses or whatever, they don't feel like genuine threats at all. They really don't. And I fucking miss that feeling. I miss the feeling of the zombies and the other types of enemies actually presenting themselves as a threat, being a threat to you while you're still somewhat overpowered. I fucking miss that feeling. But here in BO6, you don't have that. Anyways, moving on to the terrible, terrible gameplay choices. So you got the rarity system, right? You got the tier 3 pack system that's still there, which I guess I don't mind. It's just that the rarity system kind of makes it worse. I don't know. What else you got? I know this doesn't have to do with high rounds, but for some odd reason, Treyarch has a massive fucking problem of trying to design new enemies for specific map themes or specific maps as a whole. Why do we have to keep seeing the same fucking enemy over and over and over and over and over again? Like, where's the originality? Where is it? Where is that? I'm tired of seeing the fucking manglers and the mimics constantly. I'm just tired of it. You have a specific segment in the campaign that's catered to zombies, and yet they reused the mimic from Cold War for that. I know, like I said, I know that doesn't have nothing to do with high rounds, but I just want to point it out because it's just too much. It's too much, bro. The only thing I can really say about BO6 is I just like the Omni movement. That's it. Everything else I don't seem to care about. Well, this I do still kind of still care about how the story goes. Like I just hope they don't fuck that up for sure. But in terms of gameplay, bro, this game just isn't it. This game isn't it. Cold War got a rating of 0 for me. This game, I'm gonna have to rate it either a low 1 or a super low 3, bro. I'm sorry. This is just not it. The high round scene has been in fucking shambles for decades at this point. And it seems like Treyarch only understands how Easter eggs work and not high rounds, when high rounds is just another type of niche for other kinds of players or dedicated players, I'd say, that they do every single new iteration. Come on, bro. It's just, and then you have the guts to actually, this, I know this isn't specifically from the devs, but this is more so from Activision. You have the fucking balls, the cojones to use AI slop in the game? Seriously? I swear to God, I better not see an ounce of fucking AI for DLC 2. Because if everything is AI infused for DLC 2, yeah, it is over. It is goodbye for zombies. And I'm fucking out, bro. Like, if you want me to care about your game, don't just make it better, but actually make the gameplay more fun and engaging. BO6 is not it. Cold War was not it. This game isn't it either. Stop sticking to the modern formula that we have now. Stop it. And last thing I want to say actually, the thing that I hate the most, besides the server instability, the bugs and whatnot, and the game being online service only, the thing I hate the most is the consistent use of score streaks. Spamming fucking mangler injectors, mangler stims. What the fuck is that? That's not challenging. That's just mind numbing boringness. What is that?
Shock charge followed up by the wonder weapons.